Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Rob Folia, your real estate broker and coach and author of Real Estate Reset. And man, we've got some exciting news to talk about today. We are seeing something happen in the market that we have not seen in over 3 years. That's right. It's been more than 3 years since we've seen what I'm going to go into here today. So without further ado, let's jump right in. And yes, you might have heard the news already that we are at a low for interest rates that we have not seen in quite some time. The numbers that you see here up on the screen, just a little bit above 6% for the Freddie Mac 30-year national average. That's good news. This is lowest that we've seen in quite a while. In fact, let's dive in and take a look. Let's see what this has looked like here over the last 3 years or so. Well, let's even go back a little bit more than 3 years. Let's go back 5 years, just because you can see how rates really jumped up from that, the wonderful period of 3% rates that we made homes just, gosh, so affordable. And they started to really pick up here in beginning of 22. So that was 4 years ago. In March of 22, rates were in the fours. By May, they were in the fives. That was when the market was really starting to change. We are nowhere near that, unfortunately. I wish I could say rates are 3% right now, but they are not. But they are at a 3-year low, which is exciting. In fact, you can even see going back here in February of 23, that was the lowest that we had seen at 6.09%. They have been 6.08% here in September of 24, and right here, 6.06. If you were looking at getting a mortgage a year ago, I'm recording this video on Friday, January 16th, 2026. If you were looking on Thursday, January 16th, 2025, you would have seen a rate of somewhere in the low sevens, it looks like. Well, right now, it went from 7.04 to 6.06. That's a 1% drop. I'm going to round it just for ease of mathematics today. That's a 1% drop. And man, that makes homes so much more affordable. Let me show you exactly what I mean. So I've just got a home pulled up here on my website. If you want to search for homes, by the way, head over to robfolia.kw.com. You can check out this home, any others that I have out there. It's a great website to search for where you're not going to get spammed by every agent in the book, like sites like Zillow will. But this I just pulled up an example. I just pulled up a home that here is for sale, 1515 Owen Road, listed at $699. The home itself doesn't necessarily matter for today's calculations. I just wanted to get some real numbers for us. So the listing price is $699.9, and when we take a look and see that our handy calculator here on our website shows us $262 or so a month, that's around $3,150 per year in taxes. So we're going to throw that on here for our calculation, as well as our homeowner's insurance. We'll guess $1,500 a year, somewhere in there. So let's head over to a trusted mortgage calculator. Now, this goes a step beyond what you'll see on most websites, step beyond what you find on Zillow or even on my website, because this allows us to really plug in numbers and check out affordability and really kind of explore more than anything. I like round numbers. It's just easier to type in 700,000 than $699,900. But let's just say you were buying that $700,000 home. You were putting, let's even just say, well, let's say 20% down. Let's start with where rates were last year. It's 12 months ago. Say you were shopping for a home early 2025, 7%. You were getting a 30-year rate. Your property taxes, what I say, were $3,150. No PMI. We'll leave the $1,500 a month. If you were buying that home that we just pulled up, this would have cost you $4,100 a month. That's a pretty good chunk of change. That's a good mortgage payment. It really is for a property like this. Now, let's just compare it to what things would look like today. Let's change nothing other than the rate. So let's just say instead of getting a 7% rate like we were looking at 12 months ago, you were getting the 6% rate or so that it is today. Again, it's a 1% difference, which is the big thing I want to share with you. So when we crunch the numbers, now you're at, well, gosh, we've dropped about $400 a month. We're at $3,700, which, while yes, still a pretty good chunk of change, but the truth is it's about 10% less than what we had looked at last year. So I share all this to let you know, yes, rates, they're still higher than what they were 4, 5, 6 years ago. But the cool thing is that a 1% drop in rates, man, that makes that home that you were looking at 10% more affordable. And that means that it's just 10% more achievable. It can work with your budget at a higher rate than what it could have done, say, 12 months ago. This has two impacts. The first one is, as a home buyer, of course, it just makes things more affordable. But the second thing that's really exciting to me as a real estate agent and makes me really hopeful for the market this year is that it makes your home 10% more attractive to buyers out there. So if you're a homeowner, a home seller, you're needing to sell that house house in order to buy. Compared to this time last year, your home is worth 10% more in the eyes of a buyer. Basically, it's 10% more achievable and more attainable. So it's 10% more attractive, which is a great thing. And that's why I want to implore you, if you are thinking of making a move, strike while the iron's hot. Make a move while interest rates are low. Again, what it does is it helps you twofold. It helps you as a buyer by making that new home more attainable, and it helps you as a seller by making your home more attractive. If you want to find out more, just reach out to me. I'm here to help. You can hit reply if you're seeing this in your email. If you're seeing this on social media or on YouTube, drop a like and a comment. Let me know. I'd love to help you any way I can. You can also DM me. I'm happy to help you, again, however I can navigate this wacky world of real estate that we're in. But until next time, thank you all so much. Look forward to talking with you soon.